The Institute of Directors Sierra Leone, a body that is set up to seek the interest and also address the issues of directors in the country, has officially launched its organization on the theme Effective Corporate Governance for Development of Sierra Leone at the new Brookfields Hotel in Freetown. Giving an overview of the Institute of Directors Sierra Leone, Annie Green said the organization was established in 2021 and members has worked assiduously to see the success and growth of the organization. She also outlined some of the reasons for the establishment of the organization in the country.
Our mission and vision is to promote corporate governance practices and standards in Sierra Leone, to enable and develop company director skills in all areas of business, both public and private. It's not just private. Public companies, SOEs, all the state-owned enterprises, they all, even family businesses, all fall under, they should have some form of corporate governance. And our mission also says the Institute of Directors should be the go-to place for the recruitment of qualified, efficient, effective directors for all corporates. And when I say corporate, I use the term corporate, but it includes, like I said earlier, public, private, and family-owned businesses.
Speaking on the situational analysis, the state of good governance, the guest speaker, the barrister at law, who also doubles as the director of the Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation, Michaela McKay, had this to say.
Now, corporate governance really has been seen as a set of, or maybe you say framework of policies and guidelines that speak to an organization's conduct, decision-making, and practice. Of course, it has been numbered amongst the several ways in which we can improve economic efficiency and growth. It is capable of enhancing investor confidence, and it's a means to which responsibilities actually can be discharged to stakeholders, government inclusive. And good corporate governance actually defines management structures, whether relating to the board, to management itself, and to staff. But to give you an understanding of really where we are, permit me to give you a synopsis of what the history was. When we took over corporate companies from the Office of Administrator and Registrar General, we had an opportunity to see hard evidence of the state of compliance by merely looking at the files. Granted, though some of the covers were tattered and turned, it at least offered some kind of coverage, maybe to just the M&A of the company, and in some cases to the certificate of incorporation. We must say and admit that, of course, there had been misfilings and things had gone haywire, but credit goes to some companies, for instance, the banks, insurance companies, where you would see copies of annual returns. You would actually see audited accounts, notices requesting change of accounting periods. You will see requests for extension of time within which to file the accounts, notices of directors, notices of change of directors, and extracts of board meetings. However, what this disparity showed is that some people had a relatively good understanding of corporate governance, others did not, and even if they were oblivious of the fact that they had to adhere to this.
While making her keynote address through a video presentation via Zoom, Jacqueline Williams said the global economy's gradual recovery remains on track and growth will bottom out this year before rising slightly next year. She also spoke on the effective corporate governance and its importance on the African continent and Sierra Leone as a whole.
This is one of those kind of hard-hitting facts that was in the news only a couple of days ago. And it talks about the global economic recovery and about some of the implications for the world stage. And when I looked at the bottom bullet, which I've highlighted, it actually talks about a sharp tightening of global financial conditions, sometimes called a risk-off event, would have a dramatic impact in emerging markets and developing economies especially. In such a severe downside scenario, global growth could fall to about 1% this year. So if Sierra Leone is in that emerging markets and developing economies, it means that economic growth for us is going to be a challenge. And therefore, I would contend that the role of the corporate sector and the Institute of Directors is even more needed, even more important, and needs the support of all of us in the room and beyond. I think Mr. Kiley already made reference to the OECD. And I would just like to therefore say very briefly, if we have effective governance and we're looking at the economy of Sierra Leone widely, nationally, not just the corporate sector, if we got effective governance, then it would help us greatly to be more efficient in our utilization of resources. It would certainly give better access to capital. And I will add to the word capital also funding, because we still are recipients of a lot of aid funding in Sierra Leone. Certainly better and higher quality employment opportunities, and a better chance of developing in a sustained way efficient domestic or regional capital markets.
Other speakers who graced the occasion made their statement, all in the advancement of the organization. The vote of thanks was done by the head of corporate affairs, Rockell Commercial Bank, Millicent Cole. Highlights of the program were registration of new members, launch and networking, and distribution of gifts to those who graced the occasion. For Star TV News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.